That sound has got to piss the neighbours off. Anyway, welcome back. I have changed my aquaponics strawberry system to hydroponics. If you've seen any of my other videos, this is the same system with the strawberries in it, except that there is now hydroponics. Aquaponics just means fish and all the fish chemical waste feeds the plants. Hydroponics just means that you have a hydroponic solution, which is trace elements, amino acids, feeding the plants instead. Main reason I have switched over to hydroponics from aquaponics was mostly because I could not get enough nutrients from the fish waste without crashing the system. This is a super easy way of doing it. So I'm going to stick with this for a little bit. So we're going to go through what I've changed to the system. So the whole thing is run by that solar panel there. There is a solar pump in here. And it only obviously works when the sun hits the solar panel. So these little systems, which are just cheap systems from eBay, so that has your hydroponic solution in it there. Trickling, it gets pumped up there, it's trickling all through there, down there, all through there, and then back in. And the reason they're painted blue is because they look pretty in blue. No, well, the normal white polypipe does break down in the sun, so the blue is just protecting it a little bit longer. This is a homemade system just using gutter, and I still have my Coke bottle solution to that fitting going into there, which works extra well. Yeah, who needs fancy fittings when you have a Coke bottle? This system seems to be working a little bit better than this system here. Those are different strawberry plants and they were a bit smaller than these ones, but these have completely taken off. There are a ton of fruit developing already. That one's a little bit mingy looking, but should still develop pretty well. I do have strawberries sitting out here in pots, just so I can see the difference between these ones in the pots and those ones in the system. So far, the ones in the system seem to be doing a lot better than the ones in the pot. I'm a little bit slack of watering, but it is not dry or anything like that. But it just seems a lot of the fruit, and there's one that's fallen off, is not developing properly. So I might need more nitrogen or something like that in the soil. If you do have any ideas about what I need to add to the soil, please tell me. That would be wonderful. Otherwise, I could probably just water them with the hydroponic solution. That may work. Who knows? Go for a lot of hydroponic solution then, wouldn't I? So this whole system is pretty much just recycling back into the tub. Works super well. You don't want a lot of light getting into your tub, because if you get algae issues in there, and there's no algae in there at the moment, don't get much sun. But yeah, if you get algae in there, the algae is going to feed off the nutrients that your plant should be feeding off. So that's the only issue with that. But same thing happens with, you know, fish in aquaponics. But so far, it is working really well. So because we are here, we're going to show you a few other fun things in the garden. Yes, we have corn in pots. We'll get to that in a second. But check out the chartreuse, which is a type of mulberry. Look at that. There are a lot of them. I don't know if that one is ripe yet. No, that one is not ripe just yet. We have normal mulberries. Look at them. And then we have white chartreuse. Oh, mulberry white. Yeah, white. There's the chartreuse thing. These have not developed yet, but they will soon. Yes, lots of mulberries. First time growing mulberries. I have tried a few. They taste like mulberries. The end. I do have plans on setting up a bigger hydroponic system. I got a ton of these awesome pots, much better size. Check out the size of that compared to these piddly little pots. I know, they are way too small. Now I have to try and get those roots back in there. Sorry. Oh, managed to get them back in. It's like nothing even happened then. Poor little plant. So these are going to be a lot more useful. I can obviously put bigger pots, well, bigger plants in there. So I think as these outgrow this system, I'll just upgrade to the bigger system, or maybe I'll just keep swapping them over. Not entirely sure. So I have sweet corn. Yes. Now I am going to upgrade these pots, and I have planted about 2 or 3 in each pot. The strongest one is going to survive, obviously. I need a ton of nitrogen for these guys to grow properly, apparently. but they have doubled in size in about a week. Corn is just grass anyway, so as long as you treat it like grass, it should be fine. Just don't mow it. And I'm thinking I'm gonna maybe upgrade the size of the pot. So those are in like a 300 deep pot. I might go 450 deep or something, just so there's enough room for them. All sweet corn there. I do have some small blue seedlings around the other side, which I'm going to obviously keep separate. I did want to have these down the back and have a proper area for them, but I haven't had time with only one day off, unfortunately. In these pots here, I have the blue turmeric. If you've seen any of my older videos, I had one plant. It produced a lot of blue turmeric. We have replanted it there. Wait for that to perk up. I'm still moving the desert roses that were along here. So I've got one lot to repot and move. And actually talking about that, that is the desert rose area along here now. So they get sun for about 2/3 of the day, and then the sun will go over the fence and they get shade. So shady right now, but I've got these awesome blue pots. I know, everything's going blue. Why is everything going blue? Why not? I did run out of pots and I ran out of dirt. So I do want to get more so I can do these ones all in blue as well. We have our cactus section here. They have survived winter. I know they were neglected for a fair few years, but now we're babying them and they're getting a lot better. Mostly CERUS, a few other different bits and pieces. CERUS there. There are a few euphorbias, and there's some little seeds there. I'm not too sure if that's going to be a hybrid or not. I'm not collecting the seeds. They can just survive or not. I've got so much of this. This is a native, what's it called? Well, that she put the pot down. That is not a native plant. That is, well, it is a native. It's a native weed. But this stuff here is native mint. Smells like mint. Doesn't really taste like mint. More thingies there and thingies and stuff. Now it looks dodgy, but it's not. That is my mugwort. I trimmed it right back and now it is powering on. Crazy, crazy plant. Toxic to cats and dogs. Makes you dream. Yeah, you can turn it into a tea or you can do other things with it. Didn't really find it did anything, but that's okay. It looks kind of cool. It is an invasive plant in a lot of Australia as well, but it's not invasive here, so hurrah. Chicken drumstick tree is doing well as well. Where do we even start? We will show you what's been happening in the cage. And if you haven't seen the cage before, that's a ton of fun. I've just planted way too many seedlings and now everything is growing crazy. Garden bed, have not done anything with it since. Yes, it is still sitting here. I need to find dirt and stuff. So we've just got a whole lot of rubbish in there, which is biodegradable. And then I'll fill the rest of it with dirt. Not too sure where the other one of those is going. And I haven't set that one up yet either. That is my pipe that I am going to use around the other side for hydroponics. Fits those big cups perfectly. I have one row done. So yes, just succulents from 100 years ago. There they are. There they are. Lots of succulents. They look after themselves pretty much. These poor old succulents are all in super, super old plants. Old plants? No, old pots. Lovely plants. I did, split up tons of them years ago and then sort of neglected them a little bit. So I will baby them again and replant them into smaller pots like that and redo this whole fence line, I think. That is my list of things I do want to do. Now this area, I have to move this poor coffee tree. Okay, you're getting too much sun. Damn. It just got hot all of a sudden and our frangipani hasn't grown its leaves back. Bananas are starting to perk up. Oh, no, they're not. They're starting to say, hey, you need to water me or I'll die. So I better water them soon. Wow, that's what happens when you have like a week of 35 degrees and you forget to water the back corner. So I should probably do that soon. More cactus, more everything, some cactus cuttings, yeah, some few scarred old mingy ones. The blueberries, there is going to be a lot of blueberries. Yeah, that's crazy, the amount of blueberries it's going to be this year. So most of these flowers are all being fertilized by the bees and stuff. So we'll see what's what. Dwarf peach has more flowers and its first leaves of the season. So that is wonderful. Hopefully we'll get a peach or two, but I know the waspy things that lay their eggs are probably going to destroy that super quick, or they're a fly or something like that. Apples have been blooming as well. Oh, there's a very, very cool praying mantis. Hello. That is awesome for the garden. So if you ever see praying mantises, don't get rid of them. They will eat all the nasty bugs that eat your plants, and they don't eat plants. No, you don't. So yes, lots of blooms on the apples. There's some more there. My pear has not come back yet, but it's starting to get new little shoots. That is good. Whole lot of other giant mess in here. I do need to fix all of this stuff. Have not done anything to all that. Oh, all the figs in the last week have new leaves. They were sticks the other week, and now they've grown so fast. Figs everywhere. Oh, and my whatever type of cherry this was had a whole lot of flowers and a whole lot of bees. So hopefully we will have some cherries soon. Orange Suriname cherry or something like that. Let's go check in the cage. If you want to know how the cage is going, it's going super well. Check out that annoying little beetle trying to get into my plants. So if you've been following along, this is my crop cage, complete with skeletons, things for beans to climb up, potatoes that got completely destroyed in the 36-degree day yesterday. Yeah, they didn't cope with that very well, but they should hopefully perk up. I haven't installed a solar fan yet, but I will be doing that because we are in the subtropics. It is the first day of spring and it is crazy hot. I think the next week is a little bit cooler than this week. We're just going to go through what has happened in here. Yes, I have planted so many things in tiny little pots that it is just not going to work, but that is half the fun. I do have some more hydroponic stuff getting sorted. Anyway, let's get started and check out this little system, which is a solar hydroponic system. Seems to be working well. I've obviously got way too many plants, and if we pull one of these out, we'll check the roots on it. Okay, I can't even pull that out. There's a lot of roots. So these tomato plants, what I'm going to do with them is actually put them into this system, and this system is just a bucket, hydroponic solution, and a mesh pot. That is it. So I've got 6 of those all raring to go. So 6 lucky plants in there are going to find a better home soon. They're just tomato plants, whatever type, pass, not entirely sure. The ones in this system are going really, really well too. Check out the roots. That is crazy. This one is not going as well as the others because I keep knocking this little thing when I fiddle with it, and I should stop fiddling with it. When I knock that little thing, that reduces the flow to this plant. And just because these ones have had more water go through them with more nutrients, this one is smaller. It is just bizarre. I know, it makes that much of a difference. Look at the size of that compared to that. I've also attached some chains to the top. So as these get a little bit bigger, like this one here, I'm just going to gently attach the chain to them so they don't fall down in the wind. The only problem I've got is if we have a giant gust of wind and the whole cage lifts off, it shouldn't, by the way, it is anchored to the floor, it's going to rip all my plants with it. So unless we have a giant storm, which is entirely possible, hey, things happen. You can't really protect it from a giant storm unless you actually know how to build stuff. And this is just a cheap eBay cage, which seems to work perfectly fine, by the way, so far. So they are going well. Huge amount of growth, but obviously that's because they're tomatoes and tomatoes grow. I should check this one's roots out. I have not checked it out. Yep, lo and behold, they've got lots of roots. But the way that this system works, pump down there, it is a solar pump. It's just turned off because we have that palm there hiding the sun. But the water pumps up into these through little poly pipes, back down into my little container. Same with this one, water gets pumped up here, goes through there, and then back in again. They seem to be working really, really well. So these guys, I can't even pull that out because all the roots have gone through the thing. I don't think they're designed for tomatoes, so don't follow me and put tomatoes in these tiny, tiny little things. Oh, I haven't checked the strawberries. There are strawberries. Oh, look at that. There's a nice small amount of roots. More hydroponic strawberries. My vegetables. Okay, I planted most of these late and I did a silly thing and I dumped a whole thing of seeds in every single pot. But check out the lettuce. I probably should start harvesting that. It's been like, what, 3-4 weeks? Already got lettuce. I don't know what that is. It could be broccoli. No freaking idea. One of those is spring onions, either that one or that one. Don't even know what the other one is. Doesn't really matter. These are radish, but I cannot see any radish down the bottom yet. And you would expect to see radish. So I'm not entirely sure what has happened there. Oh, there may be. No radish yet. Don't know what that is. I think it was cabbage, which is way, way too late to grow cabbage, so it will probably die soon too. Now check this out. This is nuts. These are carrots. I know. That is going to be a solid block of deformed carrot. Same with those ones, a different type. Yeah, I was going to thin them out, but I'm lazy and I don't want to thin them out. I'll do all this properly eventually for next season, but for now, what happens when you grow a whole lot of carrots together in a pot? You'll find out in the next few videos. My bok choy got absolutely nailed by slugs, so I have another thing here, raised everything up. Yeah, more zucchinis, flopped a little bit in the sun because it is like 34 degrees at the moment. Now, this little guy, and I have to keep checking for bugs because there was, even with the cage, 2 beetles on this, but it is a Cape gooseberry, and we already have goose's berries, that's a gooseberry, developing, which is kind of cool because last season I had one of these. Oh no, look, I spoke too soon. See those? Those are the eggs of those freaking beetles. Okay, we'll be back in a second once we remove those. I removed the eggs and look what we have. We have one of those sneaky little beetles, and these are the beetles that completely destroyed last year's gooseberry plant, or gooseberry. I don't know what type of beetle they are. They squeak when you touch them. I haven't died yet, so I don't think they are toxic, but those are the little buggers that are laying their eggs. So, I'll be back in a second after I check every single leaf for eggs. Unbelievable. There was like 4 beetles and about 3 clusters of eggs. So my main priority now is checking my gooseberry plant so I can at least have some gooseberries. Last year, it was like no beetles, hundreds of beetles, and then the whole plant went within 2 days. Hence why I have the cage this time. Yet they still got in because they are small beetles. At least no grasshoppers, and we have like massive grasshoppers are going to turn up in the cage. Wow, little buggers. And it's fascinating that one type of beetle will only go for one type of plant. There'll be another type of bug that destroys that, another type of bug that destroys the carrots, another type of bug that destroys the beans. Just insane. Anyway, talking about beans, here are my beans. They have been climbing like you've never seen before. Check that out. I think this one is almost got to the top. So the next video you see about the cage, these are probably going to be all the way over here, I would guess. Even climbing up Mr. Skeleton, check that out. That's kind of cool, which is what we wanted. The other skeleton, which is over there, is going to have these guys climb up, and these are zucchinis and cucumbers. So I got a little bit of moldy stuff on those leaves, mainly because it rained at night. Hopefully that won't spread. I don't think it will. There's not enough humidity this time of year, and the next month or two possibly, but so far so good. Can't believe how hot it is in this cage. It is insane. Hence why I do have a fan, which I have not. Oh look, it does work. Okay, maybe I should just put the solar panel in the sun. Okay, which one's which? Is it that way? No, that's the back. So you can get solar powered fans from eBay. I think it was like 10 bucks or $15 or something. I know. Seems to be working. That will hopefully air the place out. I am paranoid about any little speck on these things now. But yeah, so far so good. Solar powered lights are working awesome as well. So if you see these on eBay, they are worth the $15 so far. That is the cage. Quick update. Everything is growing well. I have overplanted everything, but hey, that's half the fun. There is tomatoes down over there too, which have just grown insane. Yes, next update, they will be in those buckets there, which is just hydroponic buckets. I'm gonna have one there, one there, one there. So 6 of them in here. There's gonna be no room, but at least there'll be no giant bugs. And that was the cage update. Oh, my variegated lemon. I think it's a Eureka lemon. I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, variegated Eureka lemon. Check out the cool leaves on it. It has finally got a couple of blooms. Well, those are pre-flowers, pre-blooms, and they're going to be pre-lemons, which is going to be awesome because, oh look, there's some bloody wasp eggs inside there. That little lump there has wasps inside them. Yeah, they're not going to eat too much of it. Oh, and talking about that, look at that bloody bug. Okay, it's an awesome bug, but it needs to go. Look at that. Wow. Okay. It's annoying when you find bugs that look awesome because you know they eat your plants. Yes, that's nice. We know you're small in size. Check that out. We're not going to kill it. It's just going to go over the fence. I'll be back in a second. And we are back. And the bug is still alive. It's just way over there now. Loquats. Okay, my loquats still have not changed colour. But this loquat that has been developing fruit, and this one that didn't, look at the new growth on that. It is now about 7 foot tall or so. Where this one is struggling to grow new growth because all the nutrients is going into the fruit. Fascinating. It's interesting seeing two side by side, slightly different varieties as well. I think this is the honeydew. This one was a Nagasaki vase. Yeah, but the amount of new growth because it wasn't using any energy for the fruit. Big difference. So that's kind of why if you are growing all the lemons, limes, all that citrusy type stuff, and they're only small trees and you let them develop all their fruit, they're not going to grow as well and as fast as they would if you removed the fruit the first season or two. That's why everyone tells you to remove fruit, but what if you die in 6 months and you never try a loquat that you've grown? So, you know, if you've got 2, let one fruit, ignore the other one, and then see how you go. Now in here, I keep forgetting to tell everyone about this stuff. This is fish mint. It is disgusting. Thank you, Maddie, for giving me fish mint. It is still alive. I managed to kill normal mint, which is impossible to kill. Haven't killed the fish mint, so that is good. We have some basil there. We have some parsley there. Our horseradish, look how much it's grown back. And we did try and harvest that, but it wasn't ready. Ripped all the leaves off it, I've planted it back, and in 2 weeks it is huge again. So we're just going to ignore that for like 50 years and then see how we go. I have some potatoes growing in here, some potatoes in there. Well, they haven't started growing yet, but they are outside the cage, so beware anything that decides to eat them. I do need to repot my native ginger because it is not liking the heat. The pot is not big enough for it. Yeah, and that's in the shade, and that was watered yesterday or last night, and it's still gone fip. Yes, it went fip. So that is that section. I'm not going to go through all these fruit trees and stuff because I've gone through them in the last few videos. What feels like I have, but they are going super, super well. But yes, that is a quick update. I'm not too sure where I'm putting the next hydroponic system. Ideally along here somewhere. I do want to put tomatoes in it, so I'm not too sure. I could, after I move that, have it there, but I think the full blazing sun is just going to melt everything. I know, and everyone tells you, oh, they're full sun, they'll be fine, but it's freaking hot in full sun. And talking about full sun, check out that bloody butterfly laying eggs on my desert roses. You mother bloody... It's like you need a giant cage for everything. Really, butterfly? Can you go away? Can you? Can you just go away? Shoo, shoo, shoo. And it's about this point that the neighbours are watching me going, what's that weird guy with the blue tattoos shooing butterflies away for? I'm going to leave this video about here. If you did like this video, click the thumbs up so I know. If you want to watch some other stuff, it's on the screen. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Crazy fun gardening, I tell you.